that he still belongs on the scene.
Yeah, I was actually touching on that. I feel like he's playing as many events as the young guys out there, which is fascinating to see. And, well, here's a look as to why. Very consistent with the one. Got into the balls with good speed as well.
Yeah, excellent break. Has a good look here at the 2. It's just not so easy to get on the 3.
Yeah, he's landed real flat here, so he's going to have to work the cue ball out or just draw back. I don't know if he can go forward or not, Thorsten. The 4 is also tough. It's just below the 9 on the right side of the table. For me, Thorsten, I know you'll probably agree with this. When he was in his prime, and we've got to admit, he's 57 years old now. He's probably not in his prime. But when he was in his prime, and I'm talking about Ralf Souquet and playing his best pool, I don't think there was anybody prettier to watch. He just never, ever looked like he was threatening to miss a ball.
Yeah, that's one thing that has always inspired me, that he doesn't take any shot for granted. Never. I've never seen him let loose on any shot in his career. And, I know from growing up with Ralf, playing with him, against him, that I think he always enjoyed playing Efren, and I think his stats prove it. I think he's won more games against Efren than he's lost.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised at that. I think that that's the way you'd have to look at it when you played Efren, especially in Efren's era. You really didn't have anything to lose, and I think you're supposed to get up to play Efren and enjoy it. Did he beat the 8 here? I think he's snookered.
And as I was told, there's no jump cue allowed in this format.
That's absolutely correct.
But Ralf got his jump cue out?
No. This is his break cue. Okay, I thought he did too as well, but he didn't. It's his break cue. So you can jump with the break cue. I thought it was just the playing cue. So that changes things a little bit. "71 years old, Efren Reyes has slowed down a little bit over the last couple of years, and for many reasons, and he's just, I don't know anybody that's played more pool than he has throughout his career.
I played an exhibition against Efren about 2 years ago at Amsterdam Billiards in New York, and before the game we were told, hey, we want it to be an exhibition, so take it easy. And in the first rack, I tried a bank shot, low percentage, and Efren absolutely butchered me. He never went for anything fancy and just killed me, I think, 11-1, 11-2.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, so we are playing on a standard table here, and I don't think that hurts Efren. On 4.5-inch pockets, fresh cloth. I think that probably will bode well for him. And it's just amazing. 71 years old. Still out here running out. Efren Reyes in game number 1, making it look easy. And the crowd has thickened. Reyes takes game number 1, and they love it here in Manila.
There's one thing that I noticed also playing against him, that he always played the right shots. We played on pretty big pockets at Amsterdam, but that led to, having options, and he would always play the percentages, always opening the pockets, and with the new cloth we had, he knew how to slow down the cue ball and just always play the right shot, even at his age.
Yeah, it's interesting you touch on that. I don't think there's ever been a higher pool IQ than that man right there. It's just unquestioned, second to none, in my opinion. And you talk about a master of the table. He is great at all games on a pool table. That's 3 cushion, that's 1 pocket, that's straight pool, that's 9 ball, that's 10 ball, that's 8 ball. He holds titles in all of them. Now, this is an area that I'm not too familiar with, but that answers the question there. He has the 1 and the 2 down with position on the 3. Efren, you need to get back on tour.
He played a good speed too, drawing the cue ball out into the open. I know he doesn't compete as much, but he's still out there doing many exhibitions. You see online playing against local players in the Philippines, sometimes traveling abroad. I think he'll never ever stop playing. He could come in a wheelchair and still wanting to compete.
Yeah, that's what he was born and bred to do. It's shocking to me, though, at 71, how good he still plays. Used all of the pocket there. Longevity will be the question for me. It is an alternate break format. This is a race to 11. Ralf Souquet, 57 years old. Efren Reyes, 71. Can he hold to the top side of the 8 here? Does he have to come around? I think he's fine to hold. Can go behind it one rail. Big stretch here, Thorsten.
Yeah, so far, Efren's in control.
Yeah, really looking good after game number 2. It's 2-0. The GOAT.
In terms of competition, I would give it to Ralf to be the favorite in this match. Just plays every tournament, and but with the home advantage, and Efren looks quite comfortable in the start of this match. I don't want to pick a favorite.
No, I'd have to agree. I think the longer this goes, probably Ralph's going to get a little bit more comfortable with the alternate break format, but I'm very pleased with what I see so far from the legend himself.
I'm just so happy to be back in the Philippines. You know, we had so many events back in the days, the early 2000s, and it was Mr. Puyat who invited me in 2003 to play in the On Q2 event. I don't know if you remember those events, like invitationals with Mika was back here, you know, and Earl and Johnny Archer. And that was my first trip to the Philippines ever, 2003. And then we had the World Championships for a few years in Manila. And then it kind of died, unfortunately. And there was nothing until Matchroom brought back the Philippine Open last year. So I'm very happy there's a resurrection of pool in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's well said. I remember some of those events. I obviously didn't play them. I was playing a different game back then, 2003, but I do remember these events in the malls back then, and they were fantastic. There was a big buzz about them, and it's nice to see it back.
And also, when you travel around Manila, there's so many nice pool rooms that have opened in recent years. I remember before COVID, there weren't too many places really that I felt comfortable, and now it's, you know, between Pac-Man Q Club in Mandaluyong, all these Sharks and the Marboys, and there's so
Bad
many
Kois and all sorts of them.
There's so many nice
Yes.
rooms. It's great to see that pool is coming back here.
It really is, and a lot of people that haven't been out here to Manila think, you know, third world country, rough area. I'll tell you what, I mean, everywhere I have stayed has been 5-star. It's been beautiful. They've got so many nice areas, so many great people. It is one of my favorite places to travel to for so many different reasons. And I know that you have a condo just a few blocks from here, correct?
I have a place here in Quezon City. And one more thing, you're invited. I actually partnered in a pool room in Iloilo. That's a little south of Manila. If you're ever around, come check it out. It's called the Iloilo Q Club.
Oh, I can't wait. I will check it out. I've been to several of them around here, so I'm definitely going to check on that. And look at this. He does look really nice so far. I don't know if he's come away with a look here on the pink. He does have a look. He's got to work the cue ball a little bit. He can draw out or tuck out of the lower right. It's most likely going to be the draw ball. He tried to punch it.
Yeah, there's a lot of body movement there. It's when you don't feel comfortable, right? You don't know exactly how the cue ball is going to deflect with outside. So I can see even when Earl was playing, there's certain and Django, there's certain shots that you can see they're not really practicing that much because they're avoiding certain shots. You know, instead of rolling with outside, they're trying to punch the ball. I think they feel it more and just not as confident.
No, it's a great point though. You're absolutely right. And you can kind of pick that apart, right? If you play the game a lot, you can see that they will avoid certain patterns, certain situations, certain ways to play long balls because of the lack of maybe a little bit of confidence, because they're not in the mix quite as much. Whereas Ralf, I think, is still going to play more.
Jordani, desconéctame, coño.
Meant to be played. And it all has to do with comfort. And that gives us an idea of how comfortable he is.
And it gets harder because, you know, I'm up there now. I'm in my going late 40s. And people say, yeah, as you get older, you know, the experience should make you be the favorite. But also, you know, you're younger, you're hungry, you want to practice more. That's all you want to do. And you compete more and you want to... And it just affects you more physiological when the heat is on and you get nervous. You know, your arms start shaking a little more and you lose the precision, the touch, and the confidence. So that's something I'm battling too. You know, I'm still out there trying to compete, but it gets a little harder when you're older.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a fine line with age, right? You want to be able to mix that experience with that talent and that hard work and raw ability, but there is a fine line, and you can recognize it pretty quickly when you're that player. Souquet on the board, trailing 2-1. Looked pretty good there. He's got other things in mind, Ralf. It is a race to 11. Alternate the break. We are in. It was a great idea. But you had to do a lot to win that event, right? I mean, those events, I got to play in a couple of them. Boy, they were very, very difficult.
Yeah, very special format. I think we had 5 or 6 matches every day, round-robin format, race to 8. So you'd be playing for 6 to 8 hours every day for about a week. Yeah, I lost so much weight. And
tough conditions as well, right? The slower cloth, tight pockets.
Yep.
Very tough conditions. Dry here. Going into the bottom of the 6. He doesn't want to land flat here. There's nobody better than that little elevation shot where you kind of use the outside ball and just kind of twerk straight up table. I don't know if he has to do all of that. I think he's got a slide angle here. Yeah, he might do it.
if anybody can get up there, it's Efren.
Yes, he did it. There is nobody better. And he didn't get there, though. It was in track. Hard to turn down the straight back to the lower right corner here, in my opinion, but maybe he can shave this to the upper right. There is a safety as well. Yeah, hard to turn it down. Master of the table at the Derby City Classic 5 times, I believe. That's incredible. He beat yours truly out by 1 point in 2010. Does have a little bit of body movement nowadays. Oh, this is going to be nice.
But those are the little shots that the average player doesn't really see that, right? You think maybe I can run into the 9 or I stay below the 9, but he knows in order to run out the table, he needs to get above the 9. Now he's in a predicament. What do you think he's going to do here?
Yeah, especially if it's the drawback line where he's kind of going to the corner, so he can beat the corner. So he's got to draw out and past the 9. No problem. I mean, no problem. 71 years young. Putting a little juice on the squeeze. That belt sticking out. Settled down. This will work. The speed is almost ideal. It is ideal. Well, nice response by the GOAT. Reyes in the lead, 3-2. Thorsten, if you were to pick one event throughout your life that you feel...
And strings racks together.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think this particular event is warranted for the alternate the break. Did he come up dry here? I believe he has. Oh, and this is a very good opener for Reyes. The 4-ball can be played in the lower right. The 3 will lead to it. Just want to get kind of flat on the 3 if you can. Going to be hard to do from here, to be honest. The 8 becomes really big. Going to have to check this a bit.
It's harder to do on a new cloth. People were like going to slide out, but I did really well here.
Yeah, I don't know, Thorsten, if he's got an angle to hold. He might just play the 4-6 combination. There's nothing wrong with it. 6 in a pretty big ball position. Okay, he did be able to tuck under. Great touch.
Would you draw that back or go forward? Or leave yourself an angle on the 5?
It's a good question. He might try to pinch this back. Looks like he's going forward. Watch the point. That helped him. It's funny how often that happens. Still fascinating to me, 71 years old. He's actually playing better than I had expected, if I'm being honest.
I just want to tell you real quick, I have a student in New York that plays pool every day, takes a bus to a private club there, plays for 3 hours, goes home, and he invited me to his birthday party, which I couldn't do because I was here in Asia, but he turned 100 years old.
My goodness, really? And I'm assuming you're talking about the New York Q Club,
yes.
Right? Yeah. I have a couple of students there as well.
Morris, he plays every day. Unbelievable. So, in that sense, Efren is still a spring chicken.
Yeah. Does Moritz play at the highest level? That's what's amazing, right? Is that this guy can still play at such a high level. That's amazing. 100 years old. Every day?
Plays every day.
Wow. Squeaks the 9 in. After 7 games, Reyes up by 1. Needs a break and run here. What do you see, Thorsten?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that question.
Is he forced to attack here?
He can attack. There's always a push. Roll the 2 to the short rail.
I feel like the 9 might double kiss the cue ball, so if you just put the focus on burying the 2, which I know is not easy from here, but actually, believe it or not, I think it's easier than the 9 that he missed, because he's got a bigger angle here to where he can see the line a little better. And I don't feel like the safety is straightforward. I don't blame him if he goes at this. Okay, he's just going to lay the 2 down. Just didn't feel like it was easy to do that. Felt like Efren's going to have something pretty sweet from there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A little thick.
Always a good idea. We've had this a few times. We came with a good solution and just overhit it a little bit. Still not easy for Ralf to get on the 3 here.
Yeah, pretty good touch, irregardless. Yeah, you can bury it. Does it play to the lower left corner or to the side? I believe you can just bury him in behind the 9, but he's leveled out like it plays, so it must go to the lower left. Oh, he's good here. Really nice
Good
touch.
speed too, yeah. It's a little awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, I was referring to the 2 ball. The touch from the 2 to the 3 was great. Here he's over the 7, as you mentioned. Awkward. Pretty good there. Fresh cloth. This was always a little bit of a tricky shot for me with the outside ball. You really want to reduce the amount of spin you put on this. Unless you're Efren, of
It's
course.
easy to hammer the ball in, right? But
Yes.
you never get position. But to slow roll this with spin? Great job.
Yeah, you get the feeling this match is a long way from over. A really good hit there as well. Game number 15, barring any miracle, will go to Souquet. Back within 1.
It's 2-11. As Efren leads 10-8. You're watching WNT Legends. Again, we'd like to invite you for tomorrow and on Friday. Day 2 and Day 3, right here at Gateway. These 4 legends, once again, will be back in action Thursday and Friday.
Looks like a big day for our Filipino players.
Yeah, so far, it's interesting, these crowds, they just love these upper decks. I mean, they're loaded up there now. It's really on the right sides and the left sides of the upper decks. All right, Ralf, 57 years young, 1996 World 9-ball champion.
I remember watching that. It was in Sweden, Borlänge, Sweden, where he beat Tom Storm, I think,
Tom
11-0 or 11-1 in the final. Needs a roll here, didn't get it.
it felt like a really nice hit. Once again, maybe just a little too heavy on the one. It's going to be the rollout here, right? There's no jump with the break cue.
What is he going to leave? A kick
Maybe a
shot
kick.
on the two?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably best. Somewhere into the upper right corner. Efren will not turn this down, I don't believe. Just because he's got protection there with the red 3, if he can use some type of a high ball, which will act as a low off the 2.
But he hasn't really been getting real good results on these kick shots and creative safeties.
Yeah, well, let's see. This is when it really matters. Yeah, you're right. I don't know that he played that, Thorsten, but we'll give it to him. Yeah, Boosty said he was pointing. He was trying to kind of stick the cue ball down by the 6 there, I believe, and just caught it a little bit thick. He'll take it.
That gives him a chance to close out the match.
Yeah, once he come around the 7 here, checking it out of the lower right, going to be steep to the upper left, I believe.
Oop.
Well, we got a lot of work to do. The 7 is glued up to the 9. Not easy here, back and forth. Easy to let up on this swing.
Yeah, he can't kill it right now. He has to really hit it clean and with speed. Well done.
Very well done. Does the 7 play in the left side? I believe it does. You'd have to get pretty good on it. I don't think he's even worried about the 7 yet. Wow. It's probably the cleanest strike he's had. I think he wanted a pretty big angle versus being flat and an open cue ball out towards the middle here. He's okay. Oh, well, the 7 plays in the lower right. This could be curtains. I liked another couple of rotations, but short. Didn't look like it played, but he's not going to play position for this corner this way if it doesn't go. Oh, the GOAT. 71 years old. And the crowd, they're going to love it. Is he going to 4-rail this? I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised. No?
I don't think so. And he's done it. 71 years young. Efren Reyes at the Legends Cup has won his first match versus Ralf Souquet